This title was won in 1952 by Alberto Ascari. Considered one of F1's most dominant and best-loved champions, he drove the iconic Ferrari 500 and defended his title the year after. It was Juan Manuel Fangio in his Ferrari 250 who secured the team's next driver's title in 1956. Remember, he was world champion 5 times with 4 different teams. Mike Hawthorne, Phil Hill and John Surtees also won titles for Ferrari in the 50s and 60s, and the cars back then were beautiful, and they even sounded great, didn't they? Anyway, Ferrari went 11 years without winning a title until Niki Lauda won in 1975 in the iconic 312T. Throughout much of the 80s and 90s, though, Ferrari looked like they'd never go all the way again. Le Professeur Alain Prost came pretty close in 1990, but lost out to his bitter rival and former teammate at McLaren, Ayrton Senna. It was only when John Todt recruited a swathe of staff from outside of Italy, including Michael Schumacher, that the glory days returned 21 years after their last driver's title. The turn of the century saw the prancing horse sprint to an unprecedented 5 consecutive championship doubles. And after Schumacher left, Kimi Raikkonen reclaimed the driver's title immediately. But despite employing 1,500 people, the Iceman remains
A very good morning. I love this. I quite like this bed. Very good morning, everybody. This is the Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. I'm Nick Ellaby. We are building up to talkSPORT Breakfast at 6 a.m. with Alan Brazil and Ray Parler. It's Alan's last show before Christmas. Promises to be an absolute cracker today. On the way over the next hour, we will start in Adelaide, where England are having a bit of a nightmare. An Arthur Ashes defeat on the way, probably. Back of the eye paper today, the day Bazball died. Trescothick denies England have left Stoke stranded as collapse all but ends Ashes' hopes. Currently 4 for 149 Australia, 234 ahead. We'll take a look at this weekend's Premier League games as well. Are Arsenal having a wobble? Can we say it's a wobble right now? Back of the sun, no excuses. Thierry Henry, never mind injury woes. Arsenal must win the Premier League title. We'll look ahead to AFCON 2025 as well. You worried about any of your clubs losing players? And after Rory McIlroy won Sports Personality of the Year, we want your alternative sports personalities of 2025. Someone from your club who deserves a shout out, someone from your community, maybe a local side, maybe a Sunday side. Big them up today. This is your chance to get on the radio. For me, it's Kevin Sinfield. We'll get into that in a bit. As always, get involved on the usual number. Give us a call, 03717 223344, or text us 81089. Let's get into it. Well, a very, very good morning to you. Not such a great morning for the Barmy Army. We'll head straight to the cricket. Get John Norman on. John, is there any chance left?
Well, you wrote this off 2 days ago.
I did.
And here we are. And yes, Australia are still in possession of this match, and with it the Ashes. They lead by 241 runs, but they have just lost 2 quick wickets. Usman Khawaja dismissed for 40. Will Jacks with a bit of a rank delivery. He's bowled some good stuff today, but he just doesn't have the consistency. This ball should have been cut away for a couple. Khawaja, his eyes lit up because it was a bit too short. He threw everything at it, and fair play to Jamie Smith behind the stumps for completing the catch. Thin outside edge. Khawaja has to go for 40. 139 for 3 at that stage. And then 10 runs later, Cameron Green, an ill-advised drive against Josh Tongue, and it was well caught at first slip. Harry Brook taking his second decent catch. So, look, England are still just about in it. 150 up for Australia, and Will Jacks has just been slapped over long on for 6 from Travis Head, who I think probably just wants to get on with this now and take any hope England have whatsoever out of the equation. But another wicket here, well, England are still going to believe. It's still a push, but they're still battling, and the reason they're battling is because of that innings from Stokes yesterday. A partnership with Jofra Archer of 106 for the 9th wicket. Archer's first Test half-century. Problems with that, though, is that we haven't seen Stokes bowl since, so it did come with a cost. But yep, 157 for 4, and we're still going.
John, 242 runs ahead Australia. We have seen this, let's call them the bad Bazballers, chase down some big totals in the 4th innings before, mostly here in England. What's the biggest total you think they can actually realistically have a go at?
See, I'm hearing you starting to turn slightly here. I think you fancy a 4th innings run chase, and truth be told, that's what Bazball's always been about, isn't it? Stokes, more often than not, has actually decided to bowl first in Test matches. They didn't win the toss, of course, in this match, but what can they chase down? Look, they would at the start of today, they were 213 for 8. Pitches do get better as they go on in modern parlance. That wasn't the case back in the day. I don't know. It's not a terror pitch. It's not the Perth or Gabba. There's certainly more balance between bat and ball. I think England would, if not fancy their chances, would certainly back themselves to chase down 325. Anything north of 300 though is going to be an ask. And we saw yesterday, when this Australian team, when they come together and they bowl together, they're fearsome. Yesterday was a day to score big. To leave it for day 4 and 5 is going to be difficult.
John, thanks very much. We'll catch up with you hopefully very soon, because that means there's been some wickets. Loads more content on talkSPORT's Cricket YouTube and the following on podcast feed. Right now, it's time to look ahead to quite a vintage Premier League weekend lineup. 8 Saturday games. Have some of that. 1 on Sunday, 1 on Monday as we head into Christmas.
At talkSPORT, we bring you all the Christmas storyline.
Bring it on. It's Christmas football.
And then it comes to Bruno Guimaraes. Brilliant hit into the corner.
Pedro Neto with a shot from the angle. It's in. Chelsea have scored again. Pedro Neto.
It only takes one goal in the Premier League.
Saka with a cross into the box. Jesus is there. And he's rescued it for Arsenal. And it's a monumental moment. May well be Mosquera who got the final touch on it.
We are in a very strong position in the 3 competitions that we've been involved so far, and that's what we have to continue.
It's whacked into the net by Tarkovsky.
Premier League, I think, is the strongest it's ever been.
Oh, what a goal! Tamaka with an absolute screamer! Mateta, low drive into the bottom corner. What a strike from Jean-Philippe Mateta!
Another huge weekend of Premier League coming up on talkSPORT. That kicks off Saturday lunchtime, tomorrow lunchtime, 12:30, Newcastle versus Chelsea. That is a talkSPORT exclusive. Newcastle, are we concerned? Injuries piling up. Dan Burn with that punctured lung. Hope he's all right. Get well soon, Dan. Trippier, Kraft, Botman all out as well. Livramento came off in the derby. Some real concerns for Newcastle. Eddie Howe's already talking about his back line. Really in serious trouble up in the northeast. And Chelsea, Caicedo back from suspension. Cole Palmer fit again. Great news for Maresca, who apparently Man City have got an eye on Maresca. We'll get into that in the back pages with Ollie Thornton coming up. Also, tomorrow lunchtime, Southampton versus Coventry. Big game for Saints. That can they do something against the Championship leaders? That's a talkSPORT 2 exclusive from 12:30. We've also got Bristol City versus Middlesbrough tomorrow afternoon in the Championship. That's a talkSPORT 2 exclusive, not on UK TV. And then a couple of Saturday night games in the Premier League. Everton versus Arsenal. We got 2 London teams actually going to the north. There's Leeds versus Crystal Palace as well. Everton, Arsenal. Now, Everton, they're strong at Hill Dickinson at the moment. They've made that into their new fortress, it seems, already. Arsenal, not strong on the road. They've lost at Villa. They drew at Chelsea, drew at Sunderland. I think Arsenal have not beaten a top half team on the road yet this season. Now, is this the weekend their title charge becomes unstuck? We'll talk more about this in the back pages, but Thierry Henry is saying there's really no excuses for Mikel Arteta this season. And on the talkSPORT Daily podcast as well, they're doing the 12 hot takes of Christmas. Yesterday, Rory Jennings was saying overrated Arsenal will collapse and not win anything in 2026. This is what Rory Jennings has said. Couldn't believe Arsenal were favourites for both the Premier League and the European Cup. I just feel like everyone's gone mad. It's Arsenal, both the Premier League and in Europe. If any club has a propensity and a proven track record of pressing the self-destruct button, it's them. Ray Parlour on Breakfast today, going to get into that. Arsenal fans, give me a call. Are you concerned? Come on, you must be. And then Leeds Crystal Palace Saturday night, one of 3 games in 6 days for Palace. Oliver Glasner having a really difficult time at the moment. Now, would the Premier League make any other team? Would they make Man United play 3 games in 6 days? Would they make Chelsea play 3 games in 6 days? I'm not sure. I think Palace have got a proper complaint here. On Sunday, Man United go into that game at Aston Villa following the bombshell Bruno Fernandes interview emerging, with Fernandes saying he thought the club wanted him gone in the summer. A little bit of unrest there. Fernandes, I mean, come on, clearly the best player at the club. On Sports Bar, Adebayo Akinfenwa told Max Scott Fernandes is the one player at Man United that's been consistent over this bad period.
He is that one person that comes to mind that throughout this whole tenure, he's the one that shows up. And of course, because of he's always been up against the name of Man United, it always feels like I'm just outside that, it's falling short. But if you just take his work in the context of the time, like, he's got to be down as a modern legend.
Villa, Man United on Sunday. Huge game. Villa, the form team, 9 wins now in a row, 6 consecutive wins in the Premier League. Monday night, Fulham versus Nottingham Forest. That's live on talkSPORT as well. And time now to get onto the darts. Thursday at Ali Pali. I was listening on the radio. If you haven't heard darts on the radio, sounds a bit mad, but it is unbelievable. talkSPORT commentators, so good. Michael van Gerwen had a scare. 3-time winner, had to come from a set down to beat Mitsuhiko Tatsunami. And then the story so far, the story of Christmas. David Manua, the Kenyan, battled from 2 down before stunning the 18th seed Mike Dedeker to get through. Here's how the biggest upset of the PDC Worlds so far sounded on talkSPORT 2.
Now everybody for his opponent. David Manua has been involved in the most remarkable debut game of darts at the World Championship. He's missed a match start already. He's got 3 more in his hand at tops. 1 goes above.
Game, shots,
and you don't need me to tell you what happened after that. History at the Ali Pali, and Mike Dedeker is history.
Yes, David, what a win. David Manua, the first Kenyan to win at Ali Pali. He spoke to reporters after that victory.
My guys back there in my country are going crazy. They're very happy about it. Yeah.
Becoming the first Kenyan to win on the Alexandra Palace stage, that must be a really special feeling.
Yeah, it is. It is for me as well, and for the other that players back in my country. Also in Eastern Africa, we have great players, and they are happy the fact that they can see, oh, there's something out of that.
Now, this is what Barry Hearn was talking about. Darts exploding around the world. You got David Manua, the first Kenyan to win at Ali Pali. We had Stefan Belmont as well, the first Swiss to win at Ali Pali. He was talking about how he was inspiring darts players back home in Switzerland, and also Nitin Kumar as well, the first Indian to get a win at Ali Pali. So, I mean, this is just a sign of things to come. We're going to go and we're going to see more and more. I mean, it's bad news for the British players. They're going to face more competition. Obviously, Littler and Humphreys, the big favourites, expecting them to meet in the final. Nathan Aspinall and Daryl Gurney get underway today. There are watch-alongs on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel, and every dart of this PDC World Championship is live on the talkSPORT app. And finally, before we hit the break, wanted to touch on Rory McIlroy winning Sports Personality of the Year. Thank the Lord he did it. He completed a career slam in 2025, winning the Masters, that only major title that had eluded him, and he helped Europe win the Ryder Cup. Rory's mate and Ryder Cup colleague Tommy Fleetwood could not be happier.
So happy for him, so proud of him. He's somebody that we all look up to and aspire to be in his career, and you know, I think there's nobody more deserving to stand up there this year with what he achieved and what he accomplished, and just so happy for him, and happy that I was here to sort of celebrate with him.
Absolutely superb from Rory. I think one of the sports people that makes me and a lot of people around the world feel so strongly when you see him. I mean, I think it's the kind of the vulnerability that Rory shows, that you feel like, you know, you can relate to him a little bit. And on that last day at the Masters, I mean, I I was almost in tears when he did it. Unreal. Congratulations, Rory. I know Alan Brazil will be very, very happy when he comes in at 6 o'clock. I'm sure Alan's going to talk about that a lot this morning. England's Rugby Union Women's World Cup winner Ellie Killdunn was runner-up at Sports Personality of the Year. F1 World Champion Lando Norris came in third. Text in from Darren. Nick, the only sports personality is Kevin Sinfield should have won it. McIlroy, I understand, but Sinfield genuinely has done something very unselfish and meaningful. This is why people don't watch Sports Personality anymore. Well, to be fair, I didn't watch it. Thank you very much, Darren, for that. I agree with Darren. Kevin Sinfield deserves recognition for what he's been up to. 7 ultramarathons to raise £1.2 million for motor neurone disease charities. Coaching England's rugby union side as well, and a massive resurgence. And obviously, following the passing of his friend Rob Burrow, raising all that money for charity. I want to know your alternative sports personality of 2025. Someone that maybe goes under the radar a bit, either on the world stage, the country, or someone from your local community you think deserves a shout out. Give us a call, 03717 223344, or text us on 81089. This is Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT with me, Nick Ellaby. We'll take a look at the back pages up next and look ahead to tonight's fight between AJ and Jake Paul in Miami. Good morning, I'm Nick Ellaby. This is the Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Thanks for your company this Friday morning. Alan Brazil and Ray Parlour will be here for talkSPORT Breakfast from 6 a.m. It is Alan's last show before Christmas. He's probably going to be in a pretty good mood today, I reckon. A few more things you need to know this morning. Jake Paul says he's determined to inflict the biggest loss in Anthony Joshua's life when they go head-to-head in Miami overnight. The YouTuber turned boxer has brushed off concerns for his safety in the fight with the former world heavyweight champion. A 300-to-1 shot's become the longest price winner in UK horse racing history. Blowers won the opener at Exeter yesterday. That named after the TMS commentator, I think. It shatters the previous record held by Equinoctial, who triumphed at Kelso with odds of 250-to-1 in November 1990. Bookmaker Coral says it took 82 bets on the outsider. Paddy Power revealed a couple of customers had 10 or 15 quid each way punts. And Crystal Palace will have to go through a two-legged playoff if they're to get through to the knockout stages of the Conference League. They were held 2-2 at Finnish champions Coups, who ended with 10 men. talkSPORT's Alex Crook was watching.
You have to say, this feels like a major missed opportunity for Crystal Palace. 1-0 up and cruising at half-time after Uche opened the scoring in the 6th minute, but they were hit by two sucker punch Coups goals in the space of 4 minutes early in the second half. Then the visitors were reduced to 10 men. Clinton Antwi with a late challenge into the knee of Will Hughes. Devaney's header soon after from Mitchell's cross at least got the Eagles back on level terms, but they couldn't find the late winner despite a succession of corners in stoppage time, and ultimately Oliver Glasner may live to rue that decision to make 11 changes, to play so many youngsters, because it means that Palace miss out on a place in the top 8 and they will need a playoff round to get through to the last 16. It's finished here. Darren Ambrose, Crystal Palace 2, 10-man Coups 2.
talkSPORT's Alex Crook there. He'll be back from 10 a.m. with Sam Matterface this morning on talkSPORT. For more on all the day's biggest stories, head over to talksport.com. On the text, I've been asking for your alternative sports personality of the year after Rory McIlroy won. Obviously, we love Rory. We're all pleased Rory won it. But is there anyone else that deserves a mention? Sammy, the Man United fan. David Beckham for sports personality of the year. What is this? 2003. He was knighted this year. Obviously, he's done a lot of work for charity. He's into Miami, won the MLS Cup. So, yeah, maybe not a bad shout. And also, Craig in Windsor. Very good morning, Craig, who says, yet again, Arsenal getting written off. We were poor against Wolves, yet still won the game, albeit with 2 own goals, but that's what potential champions do. And as for Rory Jennings, who said Arsenal were going to collapse, Rory Jennings, this is Craig in Windsor talking. Rory Jennings is a Chelsea fan. He's another one with an agenda. I will enjoy his tears in May. There you go. Craig versus Rory. Craig, we'll have to get you on in May to have a chat with Rory about that. Looking forward to it. Right, tonight in Miami, probably about 4 o'clock in the morning, actually, UK time. This circus of a fight is happening, and talkSPORT will be there.
It's massive, it's colossal, it's making big news.
Lift off for AJ!
I've gotten to where I'm at today because of delusional optimism.
One punch was all it took from Jake Paul.
And so it's delusion until it's not.
This is a much bigger fight globally than Joshua versus Fury.
It is lights out! Wow! Anthony Joshua!
Joshua just teeing off.
A sizzling AJ reminder.
What the heck is going on?
Marketability together with ability. You got Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua.
We have a new heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua.
Oh yeah, well if it's scripted, please stop with that. The fights only end in one way.
People say, oh, I respect Jake Paul for getting in there. No, respect me because I'm about to win.
You need to knock him out.
I need to knock him out.
Two-time heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua, fights the YouTuber, well, the former YouTuber. Jake Paul does know how to box, but has he ever taken a decent punch from someone the size of Joshua with 10-ounce gloves on? At the weigh-in, Joshua is 17 stone 5. Joshua actually had to come under an agreed 17 stone 7 weight. This is not normal for a heavyweight fight. There are a few, extra rules in place. It's going to be a 22 foot ring instead of a 20-foot ring, slightly bigger, maybe favouring Jake Paul, but he is almost a full 2 stone heavier and giving away a massive amount in height and reach. Let's get into that in a little bit now in the back pages with talkSPORT breakfast producer Ollie Thornton with a rare appearance. Morning, Ollie.
Good morning, Nick. I don't think I've done this for 3 years. This is since I took the breakfast production role. Yeah. I don't think I've actually done this, but I have done this before. So it's rolling back the years. I did it back with Paul Coit way back when, legend of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's an honour to be on with you, Nick.
I know Paul's a listener. Shout out if you're listening at the moment, Paul. We love you. Ollie, before we get into the back pages, what's the best and worst thing about working with Alan Brazil?
The best thing about working with Alan Brazil is how much he makes you laugh. And probably the worst thing about working with Alan Brazil is 5:59 every single morning when you have no idea whether he's actually going to walk through the door or not.
I was going to say 5:25. He's not going to be listening, so it's
absolutely no chance.
This fight, AJ Jake Paul, it's on Netflix. You can watch it if you've got Netflix. It's probably about 3:30 a.m. The ring walks. Are we really worried that Jake Paul could come, actually genuinely get hurt and go to hospital?
Well, I think we heard on talkSPORT Breakfast yesterday from the guy who kind of started YouTube boxing in, Joe Weller, who was the first one to do it, set up an initial fight with KSI. I don't think he ever expected it to get to this level. But I think when you have the size difference that you have between Jake Paul and AJ, when you have the experience difference that you have, and when it's heavyweight boxing and the power within these punches, I think there is a good chance that Jake Paul is severely hurt. And sadly, with the kind of twisted way that people are, that's probably going to add to the attraction of why people are going to watch it, because it ultimately has become a bit of a freak show, but people quite seem to enjoy freak shows, so more people are going to watch it.
I think I'm probably going to switch it on, get up and switch it on, because it's kind of like rubbernecking, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of big talk. I mean, Anthony Joshua has been criticised for saying that boxers have a license to kill. Tyson Fury called him, a classless loser for saying that. But is it going to be scripted? Do you think, is AJ going to fight within himself a little bit? He's talked about he definitely wants the money, but is he going to go out there and try and knock Jake Paul out in round one?
I think he is. I genuinely don't think he has got the sort of opportunity to do anything else, because if he doesn't knock him out in the first 3 rounds, he's going to get absolutely hammered, and it's going to potentially damage his future earnings in future fights. Obviously, it's kind of with that Fury comment, it kind of is unwritten that everyone knows that Fury and Joshua are probably going to fight, but it's 5 years too late. But if Joshua goes out and knocks him out the first round, that's probably going to add some money and add some interest to that fight against Fury, because people would look at that and say he has still got a bit more than we all expected. But if it goes to sort of 6 rounds, then everyone's going to say, oh, I'm not going to bother with the Fury-AJ fight because AJ's completely done and he's past it.
Well, yeah, you're right. This is the problem. This is why these fights are so huge, I think. Boxing doesn't help itself. It doesn't put the biggest fights on that it should be putting on. People duck each other. Anyway, I will probably still switch it on. Quick mention of the NFL. Because of the Chiefs not doing well, that side of the conference is wide open this year, isn't it?
The AFC is wide open. I think genuinely anyone could win it. You've got new sort of challenges in the Denver Broncos, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, this Super Bowl, we've had the Chiefs in there for the last 3 years. Super Bowl will be live on talkSPORT. We have all of the playoff games as well live on talkSPORT, and it's going to be incredibly interesting. We had a huge game last night. Actually, when I say last night, literally finished about half an hour ago because it went to overtime. Ali McCoy even texted me saying he was listening because his LA Rams lost in overtime to the Seattle Seahawks, with the Seahawks then taking the number 1 seed, and they're now the favourite to come out the other side of the conference. So it's probably one of the most exciting seasons we've had in a long time in the NFL. And that is largely because no one can call who's going to win it. So kind of similar to the Premier League to a certain extent.
Keep an eye on that. On the Premier League, couple of stories to have a look at before the break that you mentioned to me. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, we'll start with the back page of The Sun. No excuses. Thierry Henry obviously got a Lifetime Achievement Award last night at the Sports Personality of the Year. His best mate, Ray Parlour, fellow Invincible, will be on from 6 a.m. But he has told Mikel Arteta injuries are not an excuse and Arsenal must win the Prem this year. We'll get Ray's reaction to that. And also on the back page of The Sun, City eyes on Enzo. This is a really interesting one. The Maresca story just continues to rumble on. Maresca is on a Manchester City shortlist to replace Pep Guardiola. I don't think that necessarily comes at a surprise, but I think what we read into this story a bit more is, does that mean that there's a higher chance of Pep Guardiola leaving in the near future? And if Maresca is coming out and sort of calling out the board the way he has this week, he hasn't really gone back on it and kind of sort of tracked back on what he said, which means that he stands by it and he's not happy with the way that things are run. So does that mean that all of this could come to fruition a little bit sooner than we expect? It's fascinating stuff. And one more quick story I want to touch on, Nick, is, because I'm particularly outraged by this, is FIFA facing outrage over fan zone fee. That's on the back page of the Times. The Mail goes, a World Cup will charge fans for big screens. I'm not sure if you've ever been to a fan zone.
I have. Copacabana Beach.
Really?
Do you know what? On Copacabana Beach, remember that goal that it wasn't a goal. We thought Raheem Sterling had scored in the first 3 minutes against Italy in 2014. I was on Copacabana Beach for that. The place went absolutely mental because it just hit the side and dropped down. It looked like he'd stuck it in the top corner. A beer everywhere, and then we realised.
But are they not one of the greatest places on earth? So
I mean, it was great.
I was there in 2018 in Russia, in Moscow. It was slightly different to Copacabana Beach, but still, it was wonderful. And it was wonderful because essentially you've got people from 32 nations all coming together and enjoying watching football. And it's an unbelievable environment. And there is no need to charge for it. This is just another way that FIFA are going to make more money. The reason why they've said it is because they're saying it's helped to manage capacity, enhance safety, and ensure a high-quality fan experience. Well, I had all three of those things in Russia. You probably had all three of those things in Copacabana Beach.
I was on the beach drinking beer.
Yeah, exactly. That's all that you need. And I just think that this is just another way FIFA to make more money out of us, and another reason why people will be outraged and people are getting fed up with this organisation and what they are doing to the undoubtedly best tournament in the world.
Listen, I don't want to defend FIFA. FIFA can get in the bin as far as I'm concerned. But as I understand it, these fan zones only cost $10, and they're going to be some kind of performances as well by artists and things. So there is a sort of slight justification, although, it's just supposed to be
who's performing at a fan zone?
A big drink
okay, you might get someone in New York, but realistically, come on.
Just trying to give the party line off the back. So, okay, we are horrifically late for the news. It's nearly 5:32. I'm Nick Ellaby. This is Early Sports Breakfast. That has been Ollie Thornton's back page roundup. He's producing the Breakfast Show with Alan Brazil this morning from 6. We'll take a look at the front pages next, and we'll also look ahead to AFCON in Morocco.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
There we go. Very good morning. I'm Nick Ellaby. This is Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. We're building up to Alan Brazil and Ray Parlour on breakfast this morning from 6 a.m. It's Alan's last show before Christmas. We'll find out if Ray's going to get a cheeky round of golf in this afternoon. Some of your headlines this Friday morning. England Rugby Union international Ollie Chesham returns from injury for Leicester's Prem game with Gloucester tonight. The second row's on the bench along with Jack Van Portfleet. He's in line for his 100th appearance for the Tigers. Maximum points could take Leicester back level at the top. There's a Welsh derby in the Championship this evening. Well, Welsh derby of sorts. Swansea welcome Wrexham live on talkSPORT 2. The Swans can pull further clear of relegation with victory. 3 points for Wrexham would see them win a game for the first time in 5. And Sunderland's Regis Lebris says AFCON is a chance for some other players at Sunderland to stake their claim for a place in the starting lineup.
Yeah, we'll have different opportunities for the players who didn't play a lot so far. We have no injuries at the minute, which is really positive, and I hope it will be the case for this period. So the team will be a bit different, but I think for the players with less game time, they knew before that this period will come. And they are ready because they train properly. They are well connected with the squad, and now we'll manage the game and we'll see.
On all these stories, go to talksport.com. Right, it's 5:39 this Friday morning. Time now for this.
Sabi, sabi, leg over, it's a goal. We do one for 2013. For 1980, and we need to let them know.
Nice vibes. This is Let's Do It Again. It's I think it's Nigeria's theme song from AFCON 2024 with Majid, and teeing up our AFCON preview with talkSPORT's Tony Afoke. Morning, Tony.
Morning, Nick.
How you doing, mate? All right?
Yeah, good. I was just hearing that tune. It's reminding me of last AFCON back in Abidjan, and just that moment of just even having a great tournament, but ultimately losing in the final.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're a Super Eagles fan, aren't you?
Yeah. I come from Nigerian descent, so I've been following the Super Eagles and all my life, and I got to watch them go all the way to the final last year. So hopefully, let's do it. In the words of the song, let's do it again. But this year instead.
Yeah, everyone like from my vintage has a real soft spot for Nigeria, partly because, of that Olympic win they had with Kanu in the team, and they must have the best kits in world football. Firstly, I want to talk about Morocco as hosts. I mean, they're joint World Cup hosts in 2030. If you haven't been to Morocco, I've been a couple of times, you might not know how crazy the Moroccans are for football. Just tell us about what an impact this tournament's going to have in the country.
Oh, a massive impact. I got to discover how crazy Moroccans are for football during the World Cup. I was lucky enough to go to Qatar, and Morocco had this great run where they went all the way to the semi-final, made history, not for their country, but for Africa as well. And I witnessed all of it. And since then, I think Morocco have just been a nation that everyone is starting to realize how crazy they are for football. And as you said, the fact that they're hosting the 2030 World Cup alongside Spain and Portugal, this is a huge tournament for them because all these new stadiums that they've built, all this new infrastructure that FIFA have put money into, this is their little dress rehearsal. So even though we've got a World Cup next year, this AFCON is going to be really exciting to see what the World Cup could look like coming into 2030.
I know you guys are out there for talkSPORT, you and Kwaku and also Zach as well. I hope you have a great time out there. Morocco supposedly kind of have this golden generation. Obviously, everyone knows Achraf Hakimi at PSG. You mentioned the first African team to get to the World Cup semi. Are Morocco the main favourites?
Yeah, they are. I think since the World Cup, Morocco have just been that team to beat in Africa. And not only that as well, as I said earlier, they've invested a lot of money into their system as well. So their youth is really good. They were really good in the Under-17s World Cup as well. They've just won the Arab Cup, which is not even the players that are going to be featuring in the AFCON. So Morocco have got a really good team. And I've noticed, especially when I went to Abidjan last year in the Ivory Coast, how a nation can just will their team the way to the final. I always say the reason Nigeria lost that final was because in the second half, you had 60,000 Ivorians just screaming and willing their team on, and that's how they won it in the end. So I do expect the same for Morocco. I think they've got a really good team, and having the host nation and having all the fans behind them, I think they're the favourites.
Yeah, interesting you say that. Sometimes I wonder about that Euros 2021 where England, failed to beat Italy and had all that trouble in the crowd, and maybe that did affect the England team. Anyway, back to AFCON. Any other favourites apart from Morocco and last year's champions? Anyone else we should be looking out for, Tony?
Well, I'm going to be a bit biased here, and obviously goes Nigeria. I think when you host one of the best strikers in Europe, you always, or one of the best strikers in Europe, you always have a chance. I also feel Senegal as well. We also saw what they did to England a couple months ago. So Senegal, one of the ones to watch as well. I would also say Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast are the reigning champions. They do have players. You're going to see people like Manchester United's Ahmad go out there. And even though this is a different AFCON, and I think a lot of the North African teams seem to do better when they're playing in North Africa, I think you're going to see one of the North African teams, so maybe Morocco and even Egypt as well. I think it's a massive AFCON for Egypt and Mo Salah.
Just finally, Tony, just tell us what's going on with Cameroon, because that is a mad story.
Oh, yeah, it's an absolutely mad story. So this all started off with Samuel Eto'o when he got reappointed back in November. I remember when Nigeria knocked out Cameroon in the last AFCON, and seeing Samuel Eto'o in the mixer, and I remember Kwaku and I were discussing it earlier, and he was just berating everyone. And when you have someone of that caliber, someone who was probably one of greatest and in my opinion, Africa's greatest ever player, and he's now one of the presidents of Cameroon. So long story short, he wanted to sack the manager. He brought in his own guy. They both released squads on the same day. It just caused so much confusion. And some of these squads had players like Andre Onana, Vincent Abubakar, missing. And so now officially there's one squad that's coming in, and hopefully we all know the squad that's going to be in Morocco. And it's missing the likes of Andre Onana and Vincent Abubakar, who fans may know as one of Cameroon's best players, but the fact you still got people like Carlos Baleba, Brian Mbeumo, I'm sure Cameroon will be fine, and they're looking to win their 6th AFCON.
Brilliant. Tony, thank you so much. Have a great trip to Morocco. I'm very jealous of you, and we'll look forward to all your reports over the tournament. talkSPORT's Tony Afoke on the AFCON. Quick text message. Arsenal fans are rattled. We had Rory Jennings earlier talking about He doesn't think Arsenal are going to win anything in 2026. That's on the talkSPORT Daily podcast, the 12 hot takes of Christmas. You can get that on the talkSPORT app. But Simon, the Arsenal fan, lost only 2 games all season, unbeaten in the Champions League, 6 wins, no draws, no losses, 2 games away from a Carabao Cup final. So that's played 24 in all competitions, won 19, drawn 3, lost 2, goals for 41, goals against 11. So that's a wobble. Still, it's been obvious. I can't even. He's had a go at talkSPORT there, but he reckons we're chomping at the bit for Arsenal to collapse. We do love a talking point, Simon. But I will say, in the Premier League, struggled to beat Wolves, needed a last-minute own goal to do that, lost away at Aston Villa, obviously beat Brentford at home, and drew with Chelsea. If that's not a wobble, then I don't know what is. Right, it is 5:45. Time now for this.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move!
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast. talkSPORT.
Emma Kerwin's back in the studio to look at the lighter side of today's news. I've got no idea what you've got for me. What's going on?
Okay, so today's been dubbed Frantic Friday.
Oh, is this Christmas shopping?
It sure is. So the nightmare before Christmas, apparently it's in full swing because Brits are going to be bombarding retailers in last-minute gift buying. Apparently it's going to peak at 1841.
Okay, 6:41 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah. Very
not the year 1841.
Very specific timing, but apparently that's when it's going to hit its
Well, that's
peak.
because everyone's getting out of the office
And straight to shops.
Have you done your Christmas shopping yet?
No, I was actually chatting to the taxi driver on the way in this morning in a bit of a panic myself, thinking I've got about 3 people that I've bought for and about 10 family members yet to buy.
Who have you got to buy for that's like most difficult?
It's the in-laws.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the blokes in the family. So I'm not really sure what kind of route to go down.
Well, there's plenty of blokes in this office, right? One thing I will say is, like, socks are never a bad present. I know it's a bit of a cliche.
Sock.
Yeah, a decent pair of socks.
I got a huge bundle of cat socks one year. They had little paws on them. They were very cute. I don't know if it's
You got a cat,
niche.
right?
Yeah, I've got a cat.
Okay.
I'm obsessed.
Well, what's the point of putting socks on a cat?
No, for me.
Right.
So we could be like twins.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant socks for the cat. Oh, that would be weird.
That would be probably abuse.
Well, good luck. I've got all my Christmas shopping still to do. What's next?
You haven't even got your Christmas tree up yet.
I haven't bought one.
Yeah.
I might even go for a curry on Christmas Day, but let's not get into that. What else have you got?
This one's a little bit. We need to be careful with this one. Apparently, swearing is great for fitness.
Tell me more.
So, dropping F-bombs boost physical performance by helping us feel stronger and more focused.
When we're working out?
Yeah.
Do you swear in the gym?
Internally, yeah. So maybe I need to release and then I'll be able to push harder. Not that I'm going to the gym that regularly, to be honest, Nick.
Is that why I see Alan Brazil doing press-ups, effing and jeffing outside in the corridor before his show?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's on it.
It makes sense now. Emma, thank you so much. That was brilliant. This is Early Sports Breakfast with me, Nick Ellaby. That's been Emma Kerwin on the lighter side of today's news. Up next, we'll look ahead to the darts and an all-Welsh affair in the Championship.
26k for 2026 on talkSPORT.
Good morning, I'm Nick Ellaby. This is the Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. We're building up to breakfast at 6 a.m. with Alan Brazil and Ray Parlour. But right now, it's competition time. And here at talkSPORT, we're welcoming the new year by giving away a massive £26,000. Yeah. That is massive. What better way to kick off 2026 than with a chance to win some serious cash? 26 grand. It's our biggest New Year cash giveaway, and it could be yours. 26k for 2026. Here's how to enter. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 423 9761. Lines close 12 p.m. 9th of January 2026. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. UK residents only, 18 plus. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com/win. So for your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now. Good luck.
26k for 2026 on talkSPORT.
Right, time to quickly head to the cricket. Travis Head closing in on a century. John Norman, how is it looking?
Yeah, that's a game within the game. Travis Head, who's batted really well, not with a couple of slices of fortune along the way, but deservedly is 99 not out. The cameras have picked out either his wife or his girlfriend, who's sitting there nervously hoping that she's going to see her partner reach three figures. But he's just batted out an over to Joe Root, where he only scored one, or two actually. So he moved from 97 to 99, then batted out 5 dot balls with the infield brought in. In and amongst that, though, it's all about, can England keep the Ashes alive? Well, the lead now 286, Australia 201 for 4. We haven't seen Ben Stokes bowl yet, so that's a concern, obviously. Archer's there, he's going well, but England need wickets. They need 6 of them, and they need them very, very quickly. Australia 201 for 4.
John, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day, if it's possible. And what an absolute Ashes nightmare that's happening. Today on talkSPORT, we got the more PDC World Darts action. This afternoon's session is live on talkSPORT 2. Josh Rock, the 11th seed, gets underway against Gemma Hayter. This evening's session is live on the talkSPORT app from 7. Nathan Aspinall goes against Lauren Illigan. And Tim Pussy as well, the guy that wanted to be called the Magnet. He is up in that final match of the evening session. Watch-alongs on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel, and every dart of the PDC Worlds is live on the talkSPORT app. Also tonight, Swansea versus Wrexham. That's at 8 o'clock, a talkSPORT 2 live exclusive. Swansea up and down this season, 5 points behind Wrexham in 15th. 100 miles between those clubs. But still a derby of sorts, isn't it? And it's Alan Brazil's last show before Christmas this morning. I can see him doing those press-ups and swearing in the corridor like we spoke about with Emma in the news. Just time to play you this. Yesterday, they really stitched Alan up when he asked for his favourite Christmas song.
It's this one. Okay.
Been an awful good girl, Santa baby. So hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa baby.
Brilliant, Ed. Carved them up a belter, mate, and that's how we're leaving it in Christmas.
I'll wait up for you, dear Santa.
Poor Alan. I think he wanted a bit of driving home for Christmas. I'm sure he'll put that on in the car on the way back today. Loads coming up on talkSPORT Breakfast today. Joining Alan Brazil and Ray Parlour this morning, Harry Redknapp. Nathan Aspinall's on ahead of his round one match. And also Darren Gough will do some Ashes roundups. You've been listening to the Early Sports Breakfast with me, Nick Ellaby. Alan and Ray on the way next.